Greetings everyone again. Okay, I developed a small problem with my Bakial Makarov magazine where the magazine was leaking some CO2. Okay, so naturally I thought that the main CO2 seal was leaking, and I replaced that with a replacement seal kit. And to my surprise, after I tightened in my next CO2 bulb, I still heard hissing coming out of the magazine. So I used a little bit of water and dish soap solution. I wet my fingers with it and I applied it around this area here where the valve stem is, where the hammer hits. And sure enough, I saw it start to bubble up over here. Okay, so what I did was I took this out and I replaced the O-ring that's on the other side of this. And I couldn't believe it. It was still leaking. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to use some of the gasket maker, which a lot of people have had success with, and I'm going to apply that around where the O-ring is, and hopefully that will stop the leak. And this is the gasket replacement kit I'm speaking of. It comes with numerous O-rings, a CO2 seal, and the round seal that goes on the inside of the valve assembly. But I'll take that apart now and show you. Okay. So take this off. So when you unscrew this, be careful. It's going to be spring loaded. Just hold on to it. Okay. There you go. Your valve. Spring. Metal washer, and another seal, O-ring type seal. The way to remember it is metal to metal, okay? If you can't remember the sequence in which they went back in, remember the seal goes in first, and then the metal washer goes in second, and then the metal washer seats against the valve, metal against metal. So that's the way you could remember it. Alright, so I'll take this apart for now, and here's the O-ring I was talking about. It's good to have a couple of little tools here that are good for putting on O-rings and gaskets. But as you can see, there's an O-ring right over here that I replaced. Let me see if I can get in there. Okay. Alright, that's what I replaced, and it still leaks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to apply some of the gasket maker around this area here, and re-screw it in, and hopefully that will seal everything up, and that will cure my problem with the hissing magazine. Okay, get some of this, just a little bit of that. Okay, toothpicks. Where are my toothpicks? Oh, here they are. Okay. Okay, so make sure that I'm lined up over here. Okay, all right, good. Okie doke. Now we'll take a little small amount of this and we'll apply it very gingerly. Okay, I don't think you need a lot of it. Put it around where the O-ring is you know, wrapped around here. All right, so put that around here. Hey, did you know that Bakial, Bakial, however you pronounce it, did you know that Bakial means river in Russian? Did you know that? I never knew that. It's amazing the things you learn from YouTube, right? Yeah, I learned that from one of my posters on one of my other videos, and you know, it was a little tidbit of information I enjoyed. Got me in the mood to use the Google Translator. I put his name into the translator and it came up douchebag. It's very interesting that somebody would use that, I don't know, that word to describe himself, but that's what came up. What could I tell you? Hey, okay. We'll finish putting this around. Boy, I gotta tell you, I really love these Bakial Makarov BB guns. All CO2 guns for that matter. Brings me back to my childhood. Brings me back to the memories of my first CO2 gun. I had to save $20 for. I think it was around 1976. I had to save $20 because a friend of mine had a pistol that he wanted to sell. And it took me months to save up that $20, and I finally got it. But I had nowhere to shoot the darn thing. So I opened up my closet door and I shot it into my closet. And, you know, it's amazing at that age how smart kids think they are at that young age. They think they're smarter than everybody else. No, my parents weren't going to hear me shooting a CO2 gun in the bedroom, right? Nah. So, needless to say, my CO2 gun career came to an abrupt ending at that moment. Never saw my CO2 gun again. And, needless to say, I never saw the gun again. And then but, you know, here I am, years and years later, and I rediscovered the hobby. Okay. So now we're going to put back the, first the rubber O-ring. Make sure that's in there straight. Okay. I can't see. All right, there it is. Okay. Put that in there nice and straight. Okay, then we take our metal. Oh, yeah, of course the tweezers would have to be magnetized, right? Come on. All right, we'll put that in by hand. Yeah, let me use this. I got a little dental tool here. Sorry, it's just hard for me to see. Okay. All right, that's in there. All right. Put the valve back in. Put the spring on. I'll try to do this as neatly as possible. All right. Okay. Now somewhere at this point I will put a caption in as to whether or not this was successful. I'll try this in a few hours after the gasket maker has fully cured. Oh, what's going on here? Can't catch the threads. Come on. All right. What's going on here? Maybe the washer's moved and it's not, the valve stem is not going straight through because the washer's moved maybe. Oh, great. I have to have trouble now. Okay, I think I got it. Okay. Jeez, I tell you, I might have to redo this. I think a lot of the gasket maker might have came off. All right, but anyway, I don't have to do that now. You guys get the idea on what I did here, and I'll let you know if it was successful or not. Okay? And as you can see, I already changed the CO2 seal in there. That's brand new. I had to put the screwdriver in here. You unscrew this valve here, and then when you unscrew it, the top portion comes off. And then after you take this off, the spring will come out. You know, the ejector for the BBs will come out. It's all one, you know, the spring and the metal rod. It's very simple to put back. And then the CO2 seal assembly is held on with another O-ring that you have to use a tool to take off, and then you could take off the seal assembly here, the piercer, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so I'm going to redo that with some more silicone gasket maker, and I'll let you know if this was successful. Okay, and thank you. Oh, well, before I leave, this is the replacement gasket set I was speaking of. You know, even though the O-ring didn't work, and it, you know, maybe it's just, you know, I had a funny feeling it wasn't. It just didn't look very good when I took it out of the bag. It was had very uneven surfaces. So anyway, but it's still well worth the price. I mean, just the fact that you're getting the CO2 replacement seal is worth the price of the kit alone. So, you know, that I'm not too concerned about that. Anyway, these O-rings here are pretty much standard. Any good hardware store will have these in stock. You can get them. So it's no big deal. Okay, thank you for watching.